All right, so first off, let's take a look at the elo. We have 700 elo. So we're going to be focusing on a lot of the basics here. So we're not even going to look at the opponent. It's not that important. First off, what we want to think about is the start. So yeah, the standard is building 2 houses. If you build 1 house, it's technically even better, but all the pros are doing 2 houses. It just feels right to do 2 houses. Next, we bring the sheep underneath. Next, we select the TC. We set the rally point. And of course, we want to be queuing stuff. And then we get the scout going. So let's see. Do these guys ever go idle? That's what we want to see to start. Nice. And nice. We had the shift. Okay, so you know shift queues. That's good. Very, very good. My solo is 700, but multiplayer is around 800 and 900. Okay, cool. I don't play any team games, so I don't really know anything about that. So we also want to keep an eye on the idle TC. Very important to keep that as close to 0 as possible. And I think at this elo, we're probably going to be seeing idle TC. So what you can do actually with the sheep is if you select all of the units like this and then right click the dead sheep, this sheep will stack on top of this sheep. And then if you follow it up with selecting the vills and shift queuing to this sheep, they will not have to move after taking this sheep. So it's very useful for, it's a little bit of efficiency, but you know, you build up the efficiency slowly. There's always a bunch of little things. Nice scouting so far. Even using the sheep to scout, which is, it's not necessary, but it is kind of nice to do. As long as it doesn't make us mess up under here. Like, look, this needs to be under the TC. See how it's outside of the TC? If you take it here, your vills have to walk a little bit to drop the food. So you really want to have that directly under the TC. It's really important. Watch too much hair and you on YouTube. Ah, yeah. Nice people to watch. The Canadians, eh? All right. So generally what I like for wood lines is I like to go for the back because, of course, your opponent's going to attack the front of your base. So if you have a back wood line, it's nice to take the back wood line first. It's really, hopefully it makes sense. It's a little bit easier to protect. So I like the back one. This wood line, you kind of like it here. It's closer to more trees, like here. This is only close to these trees kind of here, whereas this one it's close to a lot more of the wood line, so you want to place it here. It's slightly better. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to protect the gold anyways, unless you want to go for scouts, but Ethiopians are probably going to play archers, so yeah, making the lumber camp here and defending the gold makes sense as the Ethiopians, but I mean, let's not get into advanced strategy here. It's not gonna be the important thing here. Looks like we're late on the sheep as well, so we want to make sure to have our sheep here. So that's what happens if you scout with the sheep. You have to make sure to always have a sheep ready to go. If you're late with it, these villagers should have been garrisoned and then teleported to this tree. So garrison and then set the rally point and then ungarrison. And just take a little bit of tree while the sheep goes underneath the TC. You generally don't want to take them outside of the TC because then, yeah, of course it's walk time, right? You'd rather just have them take a bit of tree, take a bit of the trees and then go. So 4 on wood is going to give you too much wood. That's going to be okay for something like, if you're going to go for a drush or something, but I definitely don't recommend doing drush at this level. Okay. And as for the scouting, you see pretty much everything. So that's good. I think you found all your sheep too, right? Oh no, they're up here. Ooh. Oh, you're so close. So close. Oh, we're going to do the TC method. Ooh. But again, we're a little bit too early with it. She's also... Oh, she's going to go up here. Okay, fair enough. Decent, but also we really want to have those animals underneath. And look, we idled our TC for 20 seconds. So when was that? Was that during the deer? Or the... looks like it was just at various times. So you want to be spamming your TC hotkey, like select all TCs and create villager button just a lot. I think it could have been due to not having the food in as well because of the sheep problem. Have a scenario for this just to practice. Nice, nice. Yeah. Well then, practice getting it right underneath. So you just have to wait a little bit longer. It's best to bind a key like G and then left click TC and use ungarrison TC button. I don't really like the, or wait. Left click TC. Oh, like just, oh, you mean just like a garrison hotkey. Yeah, you need to have a garrison hotkey. Sorry, I thought you meant the alt. If you select your units and then hold alt, you can garrison without the need for another hotkey. I don't really like that method though. But yeah, having a hotkey for garrison is really good. But yeah, see, look, we're idled for 60 seconds. So we really need to clean up this Dark Age. Because villagers create in 25 seconds, so we're already down over 2 villagers by just like self-inflicted damage. So if you can play your own game, get a better Dark Age, instantly 1k elo. Because being down 2 vills at this stage is not great, right? Guess you get all your wood when you click up and send all 6 to wood. Wait, what are we talking about? Always do 4 on wood at 1100. Yeah, 4 on wood is gonna just give you extra wood. It's gonna be good if you're wanting to wall early. And yeah, so see, we have to make Dark Age farms here because we have so much wood in the bank. There we go. 4 on wood is just gonna be a lot slower, which is fine at this elo. It's better to have a little bit of extra wood, I guess. You're not really trying to go up super fast, even at 1100. Okay. Again, another forward wood line. You don't really need to control this area because it's just the stone. It's whatever. But this area is pretty nice. It's a little bit harder to wall when you have your guys exposed like this. You don't have to think too much about the map at this elo, but you know it's something to have in the back of your mind. And this guy's gonna go bring these in. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So let's see. Missing 2 sheeps. Yeah. Not anymore. 4 on berries. Very good. You definitely, between 3 and 5 on berries is going to be pretty standard. If you go more, then they just end up bumping and kind of getting stuck. Sometimes you go more. Like when I did the Persian Thrush last game, I had more on berries just because, well, it was a very unique build. So usually the mining camp 1 tile away is better because your guys get kind of stuck when you add more on gold later. So it's kind of hard to see on the elevated ground here, but you wanna kind of hover it and then it goes red and then you go like 2 tiles. That's usually how I measure it if it's kind of hard to see. Okay, so now we have too much on wood. We have like 12 on wood and we have 290 in the bank. So this, yeah, those 2 houses. Oh yeah, the 2 houses could have been, I probably would have built them like this. It is nice to get houses by the berries if the berries are forward, but if the berries in the back, then let's build the houses with the wood vills. Because protecting this side with a wall would be really good. This is kind of lower priority in the back. So, yeah. Each villager on the way up to feudal age collects around 50 wood. So with 12 on wood here, that means that we are going to have an additional 600 wood in the bank if we don't spend it. If my calculations are correct. So we're going to buy a barracks, but what else are we going to use that wood for? That's the real question. Going pretty far out here. I don't think you needed to protect this stone, so I probably would have just ignored it. Just wall a little bit further back. It's just the further you go out, the longer it takes, and the more vulnerable they are. So yeah. Even with 11 on wood, we're going to be floating a lot. Let's speed it up just a little bit here. Okay, opponent's up. What do we see? Knowing what your opponent's doing is good. So your scout is in the perfect position right now. Oh, you might see this tower. The tower is just great to see. The tower does nothing, so that's great. So you're gonna go archers, makes sense as the Ethiopians, right? And a second range, but we have it queued. So right now you're effectively floating those resources. If we had a second bill on it, which I guess you're sending now, that's good. Nice. We wanted to have both bills on that right away on up, but yeah, so far so good in feudal age here. Good enough. And yeah, I mean, you have enough float that you might as well just get the blacksmith as well, right? Could have been less forward. Well, we're already committed to making the walls like this. More on wood for 2 archery. Yeah, but I don't know. It's still like a little too much. It's fine though. You're able to spend your res. You're gonna get housed here though, probably, because I don't see any houses coming up. 2 range and TC production, 3 units at a time. You're gonna need to those houses. Here it comes. About to get housed. About to get housed. There's the housed. And now, there's the houses. I think if you get housed like that, you just select a bunch of ills and just rush up a house. Oh wait, we had one coming up on this side. Oh, okay, that's good. Nice. Okay, so you know he's Market Blacksmith with a tower, so you know his plan is maybe FC or something. So yeah, going forward with the archers is good here, I would say. And there's the blacksmith. Nice. So it would have been nice to have the blacksmith already up. You definitely could have had it up. But yeah, you could definitely go forward. So if you see blacksmith market, you know, and look, you see the barracks. Your scouting is really good. Having the scout here, really good. Because now you know what he's doing. You just have to look at the scout. But of course, using the information that you're presented with is another story. But yeah, if he has these 2 buildings, it means he doesn't really have military buildings. And he's just making spears now. So this should do major damage if we can control the units properly. But again, we just idled the TC for another minute here. So I would say you should practice just, like, don't even make military. Have the walls up before you reach feudal age. Go for defensive skirmishers and horse collar and double bit axe every single game. Just wall up, boom properly in feudal age, like keep the TC running. You're gonna work on the mechanics that you need, and then work on fancy attack strategies later. It's gonna be a lot more useful. And don't skip horse collar. Like, honestly, not at this elo. Not even at like 1300. Even at 1300, you can pretty much get horse collar like every game. This is so good though. And we even got fletching. Oh my god, this is gonna be domination. Here we go. Let's watch the idle TC though. We're not getting housed either. So, and your walls are coming up. Nice. It's looking pretty good. F1 and Shift Q. I don't know what your hotkeys are for what those do for you. 6 vills behind before any fighting begins. Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This happens. Well, you reacted pretty fast though. There you go. For select all TCs. Okay, nice. You see the skirms, but guess what? He's not gonna have any upgrades. You can kill these skirms easily with 9 archers. You can kill skirms before he has armor. Always check the skirms. If he has armor, don't take the fight. If he has armor, don't take the fight. If he doesn't have armor, if you outnumber him like this, you dominate. You actually just like 2-shot his guys if he doesn't have the armor. Because you do 2 damage instead of 3. Or sorry, 2 damage instead of 1. 1 damage if he has armor. 2 damage if he doesn't have armor. So it's pretty important. Yeah, basically once you add the ranges and the blacksmith, then it's time to just constantly make farms. Let's take a look at the wood float throughout the feudal age here. So we have all the buildings. Now it's just adding farms. Let's see. Actually, not so bad. Looks like you are going back to your base pretty frequently and placing farms. Not the perfectly placed farms, but actually, man, your wood spending is actually really strong for this level. That's good. That's really good. Especially while you're using the archers too. Nice. Okay. Probably replace the lumber camp once it's this far chopped. It's like 4 tiles away. We probably could justify. Gonna go for a market here. All right. Armor. He's on skirms. You kind of don't really want to take a fight until Castle Age anyways. I would have just not gotten armor and just gone up to Castle Age a bit faster and then made crossbow or get armor on the way up, something like that. Only get military upgrades if you're actually going to use them. So, yeah. Any military upgrade that you get that you don't use could have just been used toward, like, that resource could have been used towards something else. So that's what you want to be thinking about. If I'm going to get an upgrade, I need to be using that to damage my opponent or, like, do something. But yeah, lack of production of vills is the main issue why you're not, like, 1k2. This, honestly, like, you feel like your mechanics are good other than just keeping the TC running. Overall, it feels like you have a lot of game knowledge, but your execution just isn't there. Okay, we're adding a stable, though. I think that's kind of unnecessary. He doesn't even have armor. Like, if he doesn't even have armor, trust me, like, you dominate these. Look, you're not even paying attention. You're literally, like, you just one-shot that guy, and you're running. You would easily dominate these. So, remember, if he doesn't have armor, you outnumber him like this, take that fight. You will win. And if you kill his or if you kill all of his skirms, suddenly he just dies. Because then he doesn't have anything. But now we're trying to use our brain a little bit too much and make scouts. Yeah, I think you just kill the skirms with siege here. You just make a siege workshop. Ethiopian scouts, kind of bad. Not the greatest. And so, are we going to get our upgrades? Oh, thumb ring? Pretty expensive, but all right. I would definitely prioritize getting Bodkin Arrow. Bodkin Arrow is the real priority here. We have too many scouts in the queue, though. So if you had just queued Crossbowman and Bodkin Arrow and then gone to your opponent's base, he's literally dead. So imagine you show up here with Crossbowman Bodkin right now. Game is over. You could even just walk in. But we're taking too long here. Now we have Thumb Ring, but no Bodkin. Bodkin is so important. Like, we're just using the brain a little too much. Sometimes you don't need to just send the scouts to kill the skirm. Sometimes you just send everything, and the crossbowman kill the skirms at this stage. He doesn't even have any upgrades. The crossbowman will kill these. Okay. Keeping the TC running now. All right, very good. Even the elite skirms, it's whatever. Well, we do need Bodkin, though. Man, without Bodkin Arrow, though, it's a pretty big upgrade. At least he still doesn't have any armor. Without any armor, the skirms are kind of garbage, though. Oh, man. These Teuton spears with the extra melee armor. Pretty strong. But, yeah. Look at his base. He's super exposed. And also, it's open here. If we can camp this hill, that'd be very good. Okay. Yeah, don't be scared. It's like 3 guys. Come on. You have actually 23 units here. Don't be scared of 3 guys. See, this is what I'm saying. Using the brain too much, trying to use the scouts against the skirms, where we just overwhelm them with numbers here. So, no need to take the extra time to kill the skirms with the scouts. It's better to just kill his stuff fast, because this is a real-time game. So, in a real-time game, the time it takes to do things is also very important. So even if you lose an archer, if it allows you to kill the skirms faster, a lot of the time it's worth it. Maybe it was 3 mangoes. Be scared, not 3 skirms. Yeah, exactly. Forgetting Bodkin Arrow was a very big issue, though. There it is. But, I mean, okay, so another reason I say that the scouts were not really useful and you should have gone siege. Imagine you had siege here. You push all of his buildings, you just win. With the scouts, you can't really do anything with them. Once they kill the skirms, what are they gonna do? They just like hit this tower. It's not really doing anything. These students, he has murder holes. They actually still just die. So, yeah. Well, you're killing a lot, though. He didn't really garrison properly. So, that's good. He's going to make a knight with no upgrades. He's just going to die instantly. Yeah. Just kill them. Like, it's 3 guys. Don't go into the tower range. He should have had 10 bills in here, and all your guys should have been dead, but... like... Ay. We're just gonna go deep. Alright, nice. I think you just win from here, right? So we gotta keep the idle TC down. That's definitely a priority. Don't miss upgrades, but that's just pretty obvious. Blue making so many mistakes. Yeah, of course, this is 700 elo. Like, they're gonna make more mistakes than they're gonna make correct decisions at this elo. A lot of the time. But we made the correct decision by making crossbowmen, so that's good. Deathball and eco, GG, yeah. Yeah. With all this pressure, it's worth a second TC. Yeah, and that's what we're thinking. Nice, on the wood and the gold. I would have placed it a little closer to the wood, though. One more tile. Get that as close to the wood as possible. Would have been good. But yeah, one on the wood, and then next one on the gold is usually good, but if you can get a double, then maybe you put the TC on a stone. It's always nice. Opponent is just dead, though. So we're just going to speed it up now. If you had siege, you would have been able to end the game, right? Oh, he's got a castle, but it doesn't really matter. Big tree placement. Actually, nice TC. Yeah, that's probably where I would have placed it. I would have placed it one tile closer to the wood, but it would have been right here. There we go. And then we go imp, right? Oh, or we go Shotels, all right. Getting a castle in the middle of the map and then going imp is usually the play, though. Imagine, oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna go imp, and then we're gonna be able to treb him from the center, and he can't do anything about this. So, but I think at this elo, you should try and go for wins earlier in the game. Because if you just play solid in the early game, you should be able to get quite a bit higher up on the ladder. And then once that solid early game isn't winning the games for you, then you start working on the later game stuff. I think if you try and work on everything at this elo, you end up not really learning anything because you're spreading your focus too much. So I think try and end the game earlier. Maybe make some siege with the crossbow if you're going to play it like this. But yeah, really just don't idle the TC at all in Dark Age, and that's going to go a long way. The strategy's pretty good. Overall execution was decent, but the things that I pointed out, really the idle TC, getting housed a little bit on the archers was not great, but of course you won this game, so it's hard to really point out too many mistakes because, well, yeah, winning the game means that you did things correct for this elo. So there you go. Let's take a look at the statistics here. So pretty far ahead, as you can see. 20 to 80. Ooh, pretty good. Way ahead in the economy. Okay. And how fast are we? Dude, 43 elo? What? Wait, how long? You said you were newer at the game, right? Like you haven't been playing for a while? Because, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the skill that you have, you're gonna be 1300 in like 2 months. You're gonna be like 1300, and yeah, easily play on bots and multiplayer with friends. Yeah, even multiplayer though, it feels like you can reach quite a bit higher. So nice. Well played. GG's.